Chairman, Senators, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. And I want to thank you for visiting with us in your office a couple of weeks ago so we could express some concerns. And then secondly, for taking a fair, balanced, and hopefully cautious approach to all of this. My presentation will be a little bit different than the previous people. It was my understanding that we were to come here and respond to what the League of Cities and the Association of Counties 2 weeks ago.
That's a great thing to do.
So that's basically what I do. The Bible has a nice saying that there's nothing new under the sun. I think that's very applicable here. You've heard Senator Margolis. You've heard these arguments for years and years. I've been here since 1985, and they're the same. And I've often said, you can probably take a tape recorder and take what we have to say, the league has to say, and the county has to say, and just play that tape over and over, and save everybody a lot of time and trouble because the issues really don't change. Now, my take on what the cities and the counties said the last time, basically like this, I can summarize. For the counties, or for the cities, they would like to cut the pensions, but they would like to keep the premium tax money that you generously offer to help pay for these. It's also my opinion that they're kind of going along for the ride on this. Senator Norman, you mentioned that, it has no impact on the state budget, but they see this as a golden opportunity to maybe make some big changes. For the counties, I get the impression it's okay to whack the pensions, but not necessarily for the pensions of the county commissioners. And we had a meeting several months ago with the cities, the counties, firefighters, teachers. We were there, a bit of everybody, the FOP. And I suggested to the counties when they were talking about all this that they lead by example, that they jump up and volunteer for all these 401ks and all that, and let us know how it goes. If they're so hepped up on it, they ought to do it. And of course, the answer was no. But I think that the legislature is very fond of pilot projects, and that might be a good pilot project. Let them lead by example, say 5 or 10 years from now, go back and let us know how this pension changing thingy is working for you. I've probably heard something along those lines before. Our people are a lot like the military, if I can use that analogy. We represent police officers and correctional officers throughout the state, some 36,000. But our people come on board with the expectation that if they get bunged up, if they get shot up or whatever, if they get killed, if they manage to make 25 or 30 years, you are going to take care of them and or their families. That's kind of an implied contract, and we would urge you to keep that. Now I want to go a little offbeat in the presentation. I want to talk about a couple things. One, I want to talk about shoe sizes. Then I want to talk about Abraham Lincoln. And for good measure, I want to throw in Governor Jeb Bush while we're at it. So, Senator LaBelle, you're over there scratching your head like, where's this boy going with this? So give me a chance, I'll try to bring him home here in a little bit. Senator Norman, you hit the nail on the head that there is a difference, that one size does not fit all. Just like shoes. The FRS is entirely, in some respects, different from municipal retirement. And let me point some of those out. For FRS, there's no bargaining. You decide what the benefits are going to be, you decide what the pension payments are going to be, and that's that. There's an implied contract that you sign on will do this, but no formal contract. For municipal pension plans, there is a formal contract. The cities and the officers sit down and they do bargaining, and they come up with something. And the key point to remember is that the cities hold all the cards. You get to that point and they decide, nah, we're not going to do that. That's that. You just have to creek without a paddle. You can't do anything about it. By the same token, they have the right to unagree to stuff. And that's happening throughout the state, where maybe they got a little overzealous and they did more than they should have. They're doing takebacks. That's happening as we were speaking. And they have good ways of doing that. Jeb Bush, I want to throw that out. This whole issue on premium tax money, that's an old issue. Ed Hoffman, my colleague here, he started in 1957, I think. He probably heard these same arguments back then. I came in 1985, and it's all over premium tax monies that you supply to help police and fire. Well, In 1999, we had an epic battle here in Senator Margolis. I know you were here, you probably remember it. And Governor Jeb Bush, Speaker Thrasher, now Senator Thrasher, and President Tony Jennings led the charge to make sure that those monies are used as intended for extra benefits. So what we have this eternal battle where the cities keep coming back saying, no, we should be able to do what we want to with this money. And that's really the gist of the argument. It's an old argument. Now to Abraham Lincoln. I know you're wondering where that's going to go. One of my favorite sayings from Lincoln has to do with his thought on personal responsibility. He said, describing a guy, reminds me of a guy who killed both his parents. Then, when he was about to be sentenced, he begged for mercy on the grounds that he was an orphan. Well, I would suggest to you that the cities are now saying that they're an orphan. So they can completely undo what they did. And I agree with Senator Mormon, they basically want you to do the dirty work for them. They agreed to all this, and now they don't have the whatever to unagree to it, and they want you to do that. Finally, I agree that there are some abuses out there. And we've talked about some of those in the office. And we would pledge to work with you on correcting those abuses. We want a place at the table. And our main philosophy in all this is that the greed of a few should not harm the needs of the many. So think about that. Now, as we approach this issue, we're willing to sit down and we suggest that you tweak, not gut the system. But if the intent is to gut the system, we will have to fight on that. With that, I close and we'll take any questions.